Good evening and welcome to Left, Right and Centre. 9 days after the brutal murder of Mohammad Akhlaq in Dadri, Western Uttar Pradesh, the state is on edge. FIRs have been filed against those spreading rumours on social media after a police inspector in Saharanpur was run over by a truck. The rumours said the truck was carrying cows and that he was trying to stop them from being taken to the slaughterhouse. In Bisara village where Akhlaq was killed, the village head has blamed rumours and photographs of carcasses on social media. As UP simmers, the ball of blame has been tossed back and forth between the state government and the centre. President Pranab Mukherji now has urged Indians to ensure that core values of civilization, diversity, tolerance, endurance and plurality are not wasted in all this. But not a word from the Prime Minister of either concern or condolence. Why not? That's one of the questions we're asking. Also on the show, our special coverage of the run-up to the race for the White House next year. Nidhi Razdan reports on Islamophobia in America. And an NDTV special. For the first time in more than 40 years, a group of Chinese Indians return to tell the shocking story of how their families were imprisoned in prisoner of war camps in Rajasthan after the 1962 war. But first, of course, on Dadri, why is the Prime Minister silent on the mob lynching of Mohammad Akhlaq 9 days ago? This is what many people across India are asking days after Akhlaq died. As eminent persons return government honours, the President made a strong pitch for increased tolerance, and images of a peace meeting in Dadri moved an entire nation.
The civilization celebrated diversity, promoted and advocated tolerance, enjoyed plurality. These core civilizational values keep us together, and if we keep that in mind, nothing can prevent our democracy to move on.
The President underlining the strength of Indian civilization and democracy at a time when it is being questioned and undermined with the murder at Dadri near Delhi of Mohammad Akhlaq by a mob who believed he had beef in his house. So far, the Prime Minister hasn't commented on the killing, although today he found time to tweet a get well soon message to an ex-BJP member of Parliament. A BJP ally, the J&K Chief Minister and an eminent poet and author who returned a top national honour had more to say.
क्योंकि मैंने कह दिया प्राइम मिनिस्टर को जो मैंडेट मिला है लोगों का वो विकास पे मिला है सबका साथ सबका विकास.
A very eloquent prime minister who goes and addresses lakhs of people, and here writers are being murdered, innocent people are being killed, his ministers are making very objectionable statements, and he keeps quiet.
The PM is a sensitive person. He is seized with the matter.
The Prime Minister's office has a small social media unit which is in touch with him throughout the day. In particular, they monitor the pro-BJP and pro-Prime Minister sites and Twitter handles, but also the critics. Whether to react or not to Dadri-like incidents depends totally on the Prime Minister. NDTV Bureau Report.
Well, as we said, it's been 9 days since Mohammad Akhlaq's lynching in Dadri in Western Uttar Pradesh. It's a part of the country that has been tense in the past due to differences between religious groups. We have joining us to talk about the incident, the aftermath, the silence from the centre on it. We have with us Mihra Sood in the studio, senior lawyer. We have Professor Rakesh Sinha joining us with us, and we have Arvind Gupta, who's the national head of the IT cell of the BJP. We are also hoping to be joined from Lucknow by Mr. Vikram Singh, the former DGP of Police, and Gaurav Bhatia, the spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party as well. Mira, actually I want to start by asking you, because we've had a situation today where we've had FIRs filed against people for posting images on social media. Is that not a diversion from what really is the problem that the state government and the centre indeed is facing in Uttar Pradesh?
Completely, Nidhi. I think blaming media, whether it's social media or news media, I think the same freedoms need to apply. And I think it is extremely short-sighted and blame the media or blame inciting messages or what people claim as inciting messages place the blame for their own actions. I think we have certain laws that are prone to a lot of misuse, that have been frequently, though they were in place to protect against speech against minorities, speech against communal violence against minorities, they've been misused and appropriated, and I think it's high time we relook at those laws and we come up with much stronger protections for free speech, and we put the blame for violence where it lies, on violent actions and not on speech.
Okay, Arvind, I want to actually ask you, because there's been a lot of commentary today about the Prime Minister's lack of communication and tweeting on this particular incident. He's not spoken during his Mann Ki Baat address. Today he's wished Navjot Singh Sidhu a recovery from deep pain thrombosis, but not a word from the Prime Minister. Isn't it time he speak up? Because the President has also made a speech today, made an appeal to Indians to keep peace and harmony.
Well, I think as highlighted in the press conference already by Siddharthnath Singh, the Prime Minister is seized of the matter and is aware of the situation, and until he has something which is actionable, you don't expect him to just write about it. So that's my take on it. But coming back to the point that I think my fellow panelists made over here, I think a lot is being blamed on social media for lack of proper action and inept administration. So this is the standard scapegoat that we see being deployed by a very ineffective and inept administration. Whenever there is nothing else, blame social media, blame media. Sometimes media, probably rightly so, they have a proper process. Social media has no process of filtering content. It's user-generated content. So
may I just respond to that one second?
Very quickly, if I get the other panelists in, Mehra.
I just want to say that it's probably the first time that you and I have agreed on an issue, Arvind. And I just want to say that I hope you will display the same tolerance for free speech when it comes to other kinds of speech and expression that the government wants to suppress.
All right. Professor Sinha, I want to ask you, we're hearing about how these FIRs are a diversion from the real issue. We're talking about Twitter and the lack of filtering on Twitter, things like that. We've seen the ball of blame sort of being tossed between the center and the state on this particular incident, specifically. Law and order is a state subject. What is the UP government doing? Akhilesh Yadav is filing these FIRs, but fundamentally it's also a question of the kind of fanning of the flames. I mean, we've had senior leaders from the BJP go there. Muzaffarnagar riots accused. Sangeet Som has gone there talking about how there will be repercussions. Senior party leaders have spoken about the fact that people, cow slaughter is a very provocative thing, so therefore people should be more conscious of what they're doing. The issue is not that. The issue fundamentally is of tolerance and intolerance.
No, a basic thing is that in Uttar Pradesh this incident has taken place.
Yeah.
And the Uttar Pradesh government, instead of accepting that it was a failure on the part of the government, it very cleverly transferred the local incident as a national incident, and a crime has been given an ideological color. Now look, nobody is discussing how the Uttar Pradesh government has failed. This is not one instance. 2 days earlier, a Dalit woman was killed in Uttar Pradesh. A 4-year-old child was killed by a father, not covering her head. So this is a complete failure of law and order in the Uttar Pradesh.
I don't think anybody is absolving the Uttar Pradesh government of a law and order failure.
What we are doing, that look, the protection for cow, that is a different issue. This is not a new issue. This is already in the constitution, in directive principle of state policy. This is the agenda of some political party, this is agenda of ideological group. But at the same time, the failure of the law and order, and a certain group is doing something on the basis of rumor or some organized crime, unorganized crime, this is a matter of investigation. But here the certain kind of people are linking both things, cow protection, beef eating, and the crime.
Okay, Shekhar Gupta, we're hearing that the two things should not be linked. Yes, law and order is a state subject, undoubtedly. But we're talking about a particular kind of ideology that's also fanning the flames. It's not as simple as it's being made out to be that, just blame the state government because the police didn't come in time and there's a village where things are tense. Why is this not being linked to the kind of ideology that is fanning these flames?
See, first of all, if you look at just the facts, then while ideologically people mixing ideology etc. is a much bigger issue and a much more objectionable issue. It must be discussed, it must be exposed. The fact is that the incompetence of the state government also cannot be condoned just because of this. Look, this is a village in a sensitive district, right? Something like this happens, it builds up on social media. Our police still follows the very old, effective and very robust British systems of surveillance, intelligence, of keeping a sense of what's going on. I think if the police did not figure out what was going on, it means colossal incompetence. In fact, I can tell you, had Mayawati been Chief Minister of UP, the state government's response would have been entirely different. She would have gone to the other extreme, immediately removing the DM and the SP, etc., 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 maybe would have gone and camped there. So that is one. The other thing is, if it was indeed only a law and order issue for which a state has to be responsible, then why didn't every BJP leader who held forth on it say that, Sangeet Som, to Mr. Balyan, to everybody else? They should have said, look, it's a law and order issue and everybody knows, and I know that many people in RSS will not agree with it, but the fact is that for decades now, in states where cow slaughter is banned, cows are not slaughtered. Unless somebody wants to create trouble. Right? Though I think the days when you threw a cow's carcass at a temple or a pig's carcass at a mosque are
long gone.
In fact, I keep teasing my younger colleagues that all of you become special correspondents without tasting tear gas. All of us had to taste it in the first 6 months. So I think this brings back the stereotype very quickly. And I think a lot of people in the BJP are guilty of having jumped at it, and similarly a lot of people at the other extreme are also guilty of having complicated this in such a way that state government is now sitting pretty. It's a very incompetent state government.
All right, one at a time. Arvind first, one at a time.
So there are two issues. I mean, I think as all of us are mentioning, one is the incompetence of the state government, and they have actually cleverly, and I have mentioned this in the past, used social media as a scapegoat, filed these FIRs, and taking the attention away from what should have been
these
their
are most lazy things to do. FIRs are filed and nothing happens.
So basically they have done that, and they've acted quite fast for that, surprisingly, but they did not take the cues from social media that such was being built up. And we've talked about in the past, if the miscreants can use social media, why can't the administration use social media to their advantage and figure out that something like this is going to happen?
So my question really, Professor Sinha, coming on this is, where is this going to stop? Okay, fine, we know that the state government is incompetent when nobody's questioning that. Nobody's questioning that in this current context, and UP, that belt of UP has a history of things spiraling out of control. But isn't that now moot? The incident has happened. There's got to be something that's coming from the center as well if it comes to the state government's incompetence.
Maya, I believe that we require two things. Political action is one part of that, but political action can't resolve all the issues. These are the cultural, socio-cultural issues. Here social action is required. What I say, in 1960s and 70s, it was Vinoba Bhave and Jayaprakash Narayan took the issue of cow slaughter, and they went to the people. They were the socialist leaders and non-RSS people. So there was a coalition of forces which acted there. The cow is animal which is worshipped by the millions. So
but that is not an
the cow
issue
slaughter
now.
should be banned. Now, here what happening is that a section of the people are campaigning for the beef eating, cow beef. I am not all the big cow beef. And the eating of cow beef is a pluralism. Eating cow beef is a secularism, and campaigning against the cow slaughter, it has become communism.
But I don't think
so
that's a different issue.
There is a kind of, yes, this is the issue, that is a reaction. A large part of the intellectuals are emphasizing on that, opposing the cow slaughter, ban on the cow slaughter. That is one of the issues which is getting reaction from the people.